Coming to you live from our Auckland Park studios, this is Prime News on SABC 3. Here are our top stories this evening.
She still wants to be consulting somewhere, how? When you brought a senior counsel here? How much per hour are we paying the senior counsel brought by the NDPP?
Pressure mounted on the NPA head, Advocate Shamila Batohi, this evening as members of parliament in the ad hoc committee demanded the names of prosecutors allegedly implicated in corruption and criminal collusion within the NPA. Meanwhile, the city of Ekurhuleni has suspended its acting EMPD Police Chief Brigadier Julius Mkhwanazi from today. And two brothers, Siyabonga and Malusi Ndimande, who were wanted in connection with the murder of music rapper Kinan aka Forbes and his friend Tebalo Tips Motwane, have appeared before the Durban Magistrates Court. At the back of those headlines, it's a touch just after 8 o'clock. Good evening and a warm welcome to Prime News on 3. I am Now, great to be in your company this evening as we bring you up to date with the latest happening in and around your world. Let's dive right in. We begin with this tonight. Pressure mounted on National Prosecuting Authority's head, Advocate Shamila Batohi, this evening as members of parliament in the ad hoc committee demanded the names of prosecutors allegedly implicated in corruption and criminal collusion within the NPA. Batohi, who earlier revealed she had received intelligence suggesting infiltration of a prosecuting authority, has refused to publicly name the individuals involved. She cited legal and ethical constraints, saying the NPA does not disclose the names unless a matter is formally before the courts. A decision to consult with other legal practitioners before naming anyone has drawn sharp criticism from MPs who argue that Batohi already brought senior counsel to the hearing and should have been prepared to disclose the names during the session. MPs are now pushing for a closed session without media presence where Batohi would be compelled to reveal the names confidentially.
It's so embarrassing because behind it there is a senior counsel. You see what we are paying for? This is what we are paying for. She brought a senior counsel here. She still wants to be consulting somewhere, how? When you brought a senior counsel here? How much per hour are we paying the senior counsel brought by the NDPP? We can't accept that. At the end of today's session, we'll ask the media to leave, and she will have to give us that name. We can't leave here without that name.
I understand the reason why this committee wants the name. This relates to it goes to the very heart of your mandate. And I want to, Chair, respectfully say that in response to, I think it's Honourable Saul's and maybe other members also, I'm not protecting an individual. So I want to be clear, because if I was protecting a member of the NPA, I would not have referred the matter for a criminal investigation. I take it very seriously, and that matter is being investigated.
And speaking on the disbandment of the political killing task team, Batohi told the ad hoc committee that she cannot comment on whether the task team was successful or not. Her remarks come amid growing scrutiny over the disbandment of the unit, which had been investigating politically motivated murders across KwaZulu-Natal and other provinces.
Early in my tenure, when there were complaints by the police, I think it was particularly Minister Kele, that the prosecutors were not enrolling cases from the PKTT. And there was a bit of a problem between, in terms of how the prosecutors and the PKTT investigators were working. And there were a number of dockets that were referenced that the police were not happy about. I then got a report from the KwaZulu-Natal DPP about each of those cases, with reasons why the cases were not enrolled. But that is the one specific instance that I recall about getting a report on cases being dealt with by the PKTT from the DPP KZN, Apart from that, there's no specific issues that came up regarding the PKTT. So I cannot say whether it was successful or not. It was something that the DPP will be able to testify about.
More related news, the city of Ekurhuleni has suspended its acting EMPD police chief, Brigadier Julius Mkhwanazi, from today. The latest development takes place amid revelations of alleged lawlessness plaguing the Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department. From the vantage point of suspended police chief Jabulani Isaac Mpieye and retired EMPD official Rivo Spies. As Spies wrapped up his testimony today, the Madanga Commission heard that close to 300 officials at the EMPD have criminal records ranging from assault to murder.
The city of Ekurhuleni announced the suspension of acting EMPD chief, Brigadier Julius Mkhwanazi, amid hearings at the Madanga Commission that continue to reveal the alleged extent of lawlessness in the Metro's police department. The Commission heard that in the face of this alleged lawlessness, the Specialized Services Unit that reported directly to Mkhwanazi refused to be vetted.
When Colonel Foster and the group of officers that I've assigned, when they came back to me every day to give feedback to say they've done so many fingerprints per day and they all came back to me and says they visited specialized services officers and the officers were not there, and when they spoke to the supervisors said to them they're not going to give their fingerprints because it's an illegal process.
In addition, Spies testified that it was found that close to 300 EMPD officials who remain in the system hold criminal records ranging from assault to murder.
Some of these cases stem back from the late 80s, 90s, and how the officers passed the initial recruitment process is also unknown to me then.
Spies further testified that an officer who had shot and killed his wife still found his way back into the EMPD as soon as he was released on parole, suggesting that the system is compromised to the extent that officers with records can find their way back in.
He was eventually found guilty and he was incarcerated, and I believe it was like a period of 15 years. He came out on parole now in this year and he lodged an unfair dismissal case because he wasn't processed in the correct manner, and Ekurhuleni reinstated him.
The hearings continue with a new witness who took the stand this afternoon, former City of Ekurhuleni employee Xolani Nxiza. Kani Mapanga, SABC News, Pretoria.
Coming up after the break, we find out the latest on a businessman, Vusimuzi Ketmatlala, and his co-accused as they now face 25 charges, including 11 of attempted murder, as well as the latest on Katiso KT Mulefe. Do stick with us. Thank you for staying with us. We continue with this. Businessman Vusimuzi Ketmatlala and his co-accused will now face 25 charges, including 11 of attempted murder. These related to the failed assassination attempt on his former partner, Tebogo Tobejane, businessman Joe Sibanyoni, and music producer Snuki Mukubong. Matlala and his co-accused appeared in the Alexandra Magistrates Court, where the state indicated that it is ready for trial.
Vusimuzi Matlala and 4 others stand accused of conspiring and attempting to kill Tebogo Tobejane. The state has indicated that it has received a go-ahead to add more charges against Matlala for other violent crimes.
The charges are 11 counts of attempted murder, 3 of conspiracy to commit murder, 3 of possession of prohibited firearms. Then we also have counts of contravention of the Organized Crime Act.
The state maintains that accused 1 and 2 were the hitmen behind all the assassination attempts.
All of these counts, they relate to the 3 dockets, which was that of Tobejane and the one of Sibanyoni, where Sibanyoni was together with 4 other people. And we already know that with Tobejane, she was alongside a friend when they were attacked, and Mukubung was also in the company of 2 other people.
Meanwhile, Matlala will now have a new defense team after his previous attorney withdrew from the case, stating that he will not be available for the date set for the trial. Matlala and his co-accused are expected to appear in the High Court sitting in Johannesburg next year for trial. Neria Hlakotza, SABC News, Alexandra.
Meanwhile, the case against the businessman Katiso K.T. Molefe and his three co-accused has been postponed to the 3rd of December. The state has indicated that it is still awaiting feedback from the Office of the National Director of Public Prosecutions on the centralization of the dockets of several high-profile cases. Molefe is accused of orchestrating a series of contract killings alongside his co-accused, including the murders of Vereeniging engineer Armand Swart and DJs Somebody and Ventus.
Only 3 of the 4 accused appeared in the Alexandra Magistrate Court on Tuesday. The 4th accused, Puletau, was absent in the dock to the surprise of the presiding officer.
Know that he's in custody on other matters, so we rely on correctional services to bring them to court. So by the time the matter was called, he was not before court. We are still in a position to communicate with correctional services to establish the reasons why he was not before court.
Katiso K.T. Molefe and his co-accused are accused of orchestrating a series of contract killings. They face multiple charges, including murder and conspiracy to commit murder, linked to an alleged organized crime network targeting DJs. Further evidence allegedly connects the same high-caliber rifles used in the DJ Somebody's murder to other killings, including those of DJ Ventos and Vereeniging engineer Armand Swart. Their case is postponed to early December.
Still waiting feedback in terms of the centralization application that we sent to the Office of the National Director of Public Prosecutions. So once we receive same, we will be in a position to transfer the matter to the High Court.
All the accused, except Molefe, are remanded in custody. Calvin Dludla, SABC News, Alexandra Magistrate Court.
To this now, 2 brothers, Siyabonga and Malusindi Mande, who were wanted in connection with the murder of music rapper Kinan aka Forbes and his friend Tebelo Tips Motswane, have appeared before the Durban Magistrates Court. The 2 are facing charges of multiple charges in 3 separate murder cases. They were extradited from the Kingdom of Eswatini after they abandoned their extradition appeal. The Ndemande brothers, as they've become known, finally touched down on South African soil more than a year after they fled to Eswatini. Police were taking no chances with a heavy security presence in and around the King Shaka International Airport ahead of their arrival. The alleged headmen were put in a Nyala armored vehicle guarded by heavily armored Special Task Force members. The brothers were wanted for a string of cases, including separate murder cases. In the main, the 2 are accused of the murder of Kinan aka Forbes and Tebelo Tips Motswane, who were gunned down outside a restaurant in Durban's popular Florida Road.
We are dealing with contract killers, 2 men that get paid to kill people. I wouldn't want to call them professional hitmen, but that's the best way to put it.
We know that there is a head who coordinated everything. And that person had paid the entire group after the job. But he used his bank account to transfer money, and that's a business account that he used. But we are investigating further the linkages of his business account with other partners that he has who transfers money into the business account. And so we are identifying all those that he has a business interest with that will have moved money into that account.
We shift our focus to this now. Senzo Mchunu wish to be relieved of his NEC and NWC duties in the ANC have been granted by his party. This comes after the party earlier rejected his request to step aside from his organizational duties. Briefing the media after yesterday's National Working Committee meeting, ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula said this was an individual decision by Mchunu, which the party respects.
The National Working Committee has taken a decision that Comrade Senzo Mchunu's request for special leave from the activities of the National Executive Committee and the National Working Committee be granted.
As rumors of 17 South Africans who are trapped in Donbas, Ukraine intensify, the Ukrainian ambassador to South Africa says they will never encourage anyone to go to the combat zone. That and more coming up. Stay tuned.
SABC, host broadcaster of the G20 South Africa 2020, host broadcaster of the G20 South Africa 2025.
Welcome back. To this now, political parties in Parliament have expressed their wish list as Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana prepares to table the medium-term budget policy statement tomorrow. They are calling for stricter fiscal discipline and reform to restore confidence, as well as a budget that puts the needs of ordinary South Africans first.
Increasing access to affordability in electricity through the revised integrated resource plan and measures to ensure water security.
We need control of the economy of this country, because currently, as you can see, the economy is still concentrated in the hands of the few. And as a government, we are not doing enough, to reclaim the minerals that the country is endowed with.
We need to focus on rebuilding the machinery that allows the state to do what it does best, which is provide critical services and infrastructure that society by itself wouldn't be able to do. So building bridges, building actual hospitals.
Reforms, including critical water infrastructure, municipal service delivery, and fighting crime and corruption, are necessary for higher economic growth.
As rumors of 17 South Africans who are trapped in Donbas, Ukraine intensify, the Ukrainian ambassador to South Africa, Dr. Alexandra says they will never encourage anyone to go to the combat zone. There are unconfirmed reports that the group is linked to the Umkhonto weSizwe party.
First of all, we are not pursuing or persuading any South Africans to put their lives at risk and go to the war zone. That's absolutely clear. Second of all, those who foreign citizens who fight on our side, I would be very reluctant to call them mercenaries, because we can't. All people who are fighting for money, they're fighting on Russia's side, because we cannot offer any financial conditions to anybody comparable to what Russia is offering. What we are offering is the right side of history.
And now, here's the latest market update as at 7:30 this evening. In your sports news this evening, Sekhukhune United winger Kilozo Makhalwa says he will do everything possible to make the cut for the final Bafana Bafana Africa Cup of Nations squad. The 28-year-old is slowly rediscovering his form that saw him finish as one of the standout players in last season's Betway Premiership.
Kilozo Makhalwa made his professional debut for Sundowns in 2018, but the promising player never lived up to expectations. He was eventually loaned to various other top-flight teams such as Maritzburg United, Moroka Swallows and TS Galaxy. He's now over the injuries that hampered his career early on and dreams of representing the senior national team.
I think I started very well as a young boy from Sundowns Academy, and I played Under-20 World Cup. Then I also played Under-23 AFCON that qualified for Olympics. I was there. I think it was a great journey, and sometimes there's injuries in football, so that's why I struggled with so many injuries that time when I was at Sundowns.
The Limpopo-born Makhalwa, who can create and score goals, and Orlando Pirates midfielder Masindi Mtangela are the only uncapped players in Hugo Bruce's squad to face Zambia in an international friendly in Gqeberha on Saturday. Sfiso Ramara, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Well, with that, the time now for the latest weather update. Over to the weather desk.
Good evening and welcome. Let's take a look at what to expect weather-wise for tonight as well as tomorrow. Clear skies over the extreme southwestern and western parts of the country. Otherwise, partly cloudy to cloudy conditions with isolated showers and thunder showers forecast from the Free State stretching into KwaZulu-Natal, Gauteng, Mpumalanga and parts of Limpopo. However, it will be scattered over the extreme northeastern parts of the northwest and the western parts of Limpopo. Now, tomorrow, starting off with early morning fog patches over the western, southern as well as the eastern parts of the country. Those fog patches expected to reduce visibility to less than a kilometer in places. So please do take caution if you are driving early tomorrow morning and do keep a safe following distance. Otherwise, it will be clear skies over the western as well as the southern parts of the country. Partly cloudy conditions over the central, northern and northeastern parts. And that's with isolated showers and thunder showers in places. South African Weather Service warning for this evening of severe thunderstorms over the extreme northeastern parts of the northwest into the southwestern parts of Limpopo. Now, those storms possibly resulting in heavy downpours of rain, strong damaging winds, large amounts of small hail or excessive lightning. Tomorrow, high fire danger conditions in places over the southern and western parts of the Northern Cape into the northwestern corner of the Western Cape where runaway veld fires are possible. Overnight temperatures seeing Daar and Kimberley down to 16, 15 in Riversdale and in George Fires here in Johannesburg, starting off at 13, warming up tomorrow to 25, 27 is your maximum in Pretoria. It will be very hot in Musina and Palabora with 35, 25 in East London, a cool day in George with a maximum of 24, with showers and rain expected on Thursday and showers and thunder showers over the northeastern parts. That's your weather. To stay tuned.
That concludes you and I's time together this evening. Much gratitude for joining us. Until next time, from myself, Paulette Nell, it's good night. God bless. Pula.